Mario with MIA Microflight. I wanted to do this video. I have done a similar video in the past, and I just wanted to bring this into focus once again because uh, new technology brings new products, and with new products, you sometimes you often get some new things, and sometimes you don't. Because a lot of times it's just products that are revamped with some additional bells and whistles, but they all do the same thing. These three transmitters that you see here are some of the transmitters that I have used the most. I mean, I grew up with Futaba Airtronic radios, even Kraft radios that you had to put together from pieces. You had to build the radio yourself. So transmitters are one of those things that once you lock up on one, you keep using that transmitter for pretty much everything. So out of these three, which one do you think I use the most? Let me explain. You've seen all, if you have seen my videos on my channel, you have probably hear me talk about this transmitter here. I totaled this transmitter, and you can see it's got even these little patches here that to support the battery compartment and all these things just to join the radio. I actually threw this radio up against the ground one time that I was flying one of my autogyros, and I happened to crash my 2.0 size autogyro because this radio had an issue. The night before I had repaired this radio, I went in there and I fixed the one of the antennas. You can see there's I don't use this right here for this on this radio, and it's been working just fine. The antenna is actually wrapped around this section here inside the transmitter, but I repaired the antenna, and there was an issue with the connection of the ground and the main lead and the ground lead. So there was a little bit of solder between those 2 points, and that caused my autogyro to crash. So I, in a moment of rage, if you will, I threw the radio up against the ground. I figured, this is garbage, and I'm just going to buy another radio, better radio. But I actually brought this radio home after I calmed down and from my rage, and I opened it up and I see, well, let me see what happened, because I wanted to find out why it crashed. I said, it's got to be the radio. Sure enough, when I opened it up and I was looking at what I had done the night before, and I go, it's got to be something that I did the night before, because this radio was working just fine. You can see it's got from that damage, my intentional damage, because I was so upset. But I took it apart, and when I a couple of days later, I started fixing the radio, and I go, I really like the way this radio feels in my hands. This radio is not your Rolls Royce of radios. I wouldn't consider this a Rolls Royce radio, but it is in that realm. This is a much more expensive radio. A lot of people have this radio, and a lot of more seasoned pilots use this radio. It's got a lot of bells and whistles. This is another one that that I had in a box. I never used this. I bought this. I think this came with a little helicopter in it, but I never really used it because I was using these. Most of my receivers are DSM2 receivers, and so I decided to just keep this radio. The simplicity of this transmitter right here. It's got everything I need here for the stuff that I've been doing, that I've been showing. So I don't need all the bells and whistles. I don't need a screen with displays. In fact, this is so complex, this radio, that it has kept me away from using this transmitter. The other thing that the more important thing is the ergonomic feel of this transmitter. This feels so heavy and bulky as compared to something like this that has these types of grips here that have, my fingers just wrap around this really, really well here, and I have never dropped this radio uh, by accident. I did throw this radio intentionally, because I was upset, when that happened with my gyro crashing. But I actually really, really became more fond of this radio after the fact that I had repaired it, as you see it here. So it's been about, man, this radio has gone to war and come back, and it's for me, it's been a great, great, great transmitter. Uh, after I repaired it. Um, I think I also put a light here. I don't know if this came with a light, a lit up LD display, but I think I did that also. I modified that. So I also made some of these are my own. It's got my initials there, MIA. These little trim tabs. I 3D printed those. I repaired this right here, and I'm about to do another repair because this has worn out a little bit. This is actually aluminum. The original one was just a piece of plastic, and the little contact switch got messed up from so much of this. But this is now I need to repair that and make it a little bit better. So I'm still repairing this radio because I really like this radio. The next one, as far as comfort feel for me, it has been this Dimension Devo 10. This one is also a nice transmitter that also has it's got I don't know, it feels more more ergonomic with my hands. You can see my hands are not that small, but they're not humongous. So this radio right here, I think it's for somebody that's got big hands and much more stronger grip on the transmitter. So it's for me, this transmitter has not been I like the looks of this transmitter, the carbon pattern and all that stuff, but then all that it's not to me that goes out the door. It's I don't care for looks so much as functionality, comfort and functionality. And believe it or not, this transmitter has done all that for me. So I wanted to do this video to compare these. I have also compared this one in the past. I mean, that's my where I keep all my radios there. I mean, I have some other nice radios. I had the high-tech, what was that called? The high-tech Focus, something. I have some E-Flight radios. I mean, so many freaking radios. I keep them, the ones that once in a while I use the most in this case, but most of them are in boxes. I don't really need those radios, so I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff, and that's the reason why I'm also doing these videos, because this will probably be the last time I see these things, the ones that it's a lot of the stuff that I'm showing in videos, and so I want to simplify my life, and this to me is the simplest way that I can go without having to rely on something that in my hands it doesn't feel comfortable. It's a beautiful radio. It's also a nice, beautiful, not as spiffy as this one, but this also has some nice features, with the protocols that you can you can match pretty much anything to this radio if you have the firmware upgrade that this that was available for this one. It's probably still available for this radio for people that have this one and have not done that. I would recommend do that, because it just expands the functionality and the options, with this transmitter. I have used this with some of the quadcopters when I used to fly quadcopters, many years ago, when quadcopters were just beginning to hit the market and people were really into that. So I used this quite a bit with some of those little quadcopters. So I have more quadcopter models on this one than I have airplanes. I've never used this one for airplanes. This has been my trusty radio for my microlights, ultralights, helicopters. Pretty much everything else, radio control cars, the little robo carts that I showed in some other videos. This has been my transmitter. This is just my personal take on these things, because I see a lot of videos and people romancing the hell out of things that are just by the looks and there's a new radio that came out, and I put my comments in that in one of the threads of a guy that does reviews for a lot of products. I believe that some of these guys that do reviews, they have connections to the companies, and so they get free product, and obviously they romance these products, to the point they try to sell the viewer the the idea that you need the better radio because it's got so many features, so many new things. Really, all you need is something that really works. And for me, that puppy works just fine. Mario, once again, stay tuned for more.